Well, as I told the team just a little while ago, they've obviously been through a lot here the last couple weeks, and they've embraced everything that we've taught as a staff with open arms and been in with both feet. And I thought they made a huge step forward today in terms of grasping what we've been talking about for the last 14, 15 days, and be able to come in and weather some rough spots at times and still stay true to what we wanted to be and how we wanted to play. I thought we got some good contributions of obviously the numbers show, but people off the bench that when times were guys were struggling, whether it be foul trouble or not playing in sync with how we wanted to play, we really had good contributions off the bench, and I think that helped. Sometimes coming to the bench and watching somebody else do it properly is a great motivator and better than anything a coach can say. So I think from that standpoint, I'm really proud of those guys and how they've responded and how they bought in and listened. And we're far from perfect. We've got a long ways to go, but I think this was a good step in the right direction.
Jeff?
Greg, I'm just curious if you could comment a little bit on Zack's overall game today, but specifically when the lead had shrunk in the second half, you had missed your first 7 shots, 4 from 3, and it looked like he decided maybe it's time to take it to the rim and see if I can create something.
Well, I think obviously with Zack, he's a part of, as I told the Big Ten Network when I did the on-camera thing after the game, we've had a lot of guys over the years that have resembled Zack Showalter in terms of how he plays, in terms of the tenacity, the effort, the toughness, the attitude he brings every day in practice. He's always, you see him going, flying around the floor and taking charges. I mean, he obviously goes 8 for 8 and doesn't miss a shot, but he was more active. He was on the glass. He was taking charges. He was, diving on the floor, and he was everywhere. So that's how he is, and we've always had a few guys like that, and that's has to remain our DNA. As we talked about it earlier today, we need to play hard. That was part of playing hard and playing smart. We were there well. We were playing smart at some points, and some points we weren't. And then we need to play together, and that's been the thing I've talked about since the day I took over, was we have to do this together. But for him, we talked about, to get back to your question, Jeff, we talked about that in the timeouts and in the huddles, that we had gotten too jump shot happy, that we needed to touch the post, and we needed to finish inside. And I thought Ethan got going, got some confidence, and we ran a couple things for him to get him the ball down low. And then he got going, and we were able to find some things there. And then Nigel also got going a little bit better. I thought he finished inside better than what he had previously. But it was definitely a group effort. It's a good job of those perimeter guys to find those guys inside. But we needed to play inside out. And we shot the 3 better when the ball touched the post and then was kicked out versus running around the perimeter and coming flying off screens or shooting it off the dribble. Those are lower percentage shots and always have been. But hopefully they understood. They're starting to understand the difference between doing it how we want it done in the Wisconsin way, and when we get away from it, we're not as good. And when we stick to it, we become pretty competitive.
Jim?
Greg, Eddie was pretty complimentary of ball movement and your player movement away from the ball. I know that's something you guys have been working on a lot the last 2 weeks. Are you seeing progress there?
Yes, there is. And naturally, there should be progress for as much as we've worked on it and emphasized it and watched it on film. And that's why Aaron Maish got some time. I thought in all the swing work that we've done, I go back through the film every day and break down practice step by step. He moves and cuts and reads out of the swing as well as anybody we have. He finds gaps. He has people pinned. I mean, he's got his master's degree in the swing. The rest of the guys are still working on their bachelor's degree. We're still figuring some things out. But I thought our spacing was better. They're getting more comfortable. They're understanding how to handle pressure and counter pressure within it. We're getting better at where the sweet spots are, when we need to touch the post, when we don't. And when we get it in there, if you're double teamed or as one time I described it in the huddle, the whole team bus was there waiting for us in the post, we need to kick it out. Then when that happens, and we're getting better. We've only had it, 14, 15 days, whatever it is from that first Thursday when they ran it. But I like how they're buying in and they're listening and they're working and they want to be good. And those are fun guys to coach when you have that attitude.
Tom?
Greg, it was 12-12, and you had a great run, a great stretch there. You scored 30 the rest of the half. Nigel had none, and Bronson had 2. What is it? Is that something you would consider encouraging, that you could go on a run like that, and maybe your two best players weren't scoring. I know they were passing,
Right.
but they weren't.
Yeah, I think those two guys are going to draw a lot of attention. So a lot of times, anytime those guys cut to the rim or in proximity to the ball, they're going to draw a lot of attention, which is going to free up others. And you know, it's anytime the ball or a cutter approaches the rim, at least for us defensively, it sends you on high alert. So anytime we can put some pressure on the rim, which I thought we did in transition, Jordan Hill got an open three in transition because we ran the floor hard and we pushed it. We were able to move the ball, and those guys, like I mentioned, draw a lot of attention. The other guys were opportunistic and took advantage of it. And fortunately, we moved the ball for the most part. It stuck on a few times at spots a little longer than it should have. But when we were able to turn the ball, and we chart the turns now, how many times we change sides of the floor, when we do turn it, we end up either drawing a foul on a cut, when touching the post and having something pretty good, and that also opened up some alleys for us to drive. And we're able to, you know, attack with the dribble when teams were spread out, or they were spread out a little bit with all the action going on. So that is a good sign. It's, you know, for that we can, you know, hopefully we can get everybody clicking all at once. And but it's a good sign that we have other people pick up. And I thought, like I said, guys off the bench, even though their numbers may not show it, I thought they did some good things at times and contributed to help give guys a break when they needed it.
Jeff?
Greg, you mentioned Ethan with the foul trouble. He had a habit of getting in early foul trouble early in the year. Picked up 2 today. You took him out, but then you brought him back in. Some coaches will leave a guy out for the whole half. Were you just thinking, look, I trust you not to pick up that third, or if you get it, I'll go with someone else? Because he was productive after that.
Yeah, I two things. One, I told him, just go play. I'm going to put you back in here, get ready. You're going to go back in with 2 and play at this half. And the second thing is I trust those other guys. I trust those. I got confidence in those guys off the bench that can help us and are showing some signs in the right direction. So I wanted to get Ethan back into a little flow and go into the locker room feeling good about himself, not having to sit there and be cold and have to re-warm up again. So it goes both ways. I trusted Ethan, and I want to give him some confidence, and I also have pretty good confidence in developing confidence in those others.
In front?
Hey, Coach. One of the bigger takeaways was your guys' ability to rebound in the first half. And when the game was very close, how huge was it to be able to get those rebounds and stay within, you know, even kill?
Well, it's always important to clean up the glass, and I thought there was a couple times we didn't. We had a ball bounce around right in front of me that we didn't get to in the first half. Showalter got to the offensive glass in the first half. The timing of all of them, I'll obviously go back through the film, but I thought Hap was pretty active on the glass. His hands were around things most of the time and in the right place. You know, anytime you can, the hustle plays, the things that don't take talent, doesn't matter how high you jump, how fast you run, if you put heart in the effort and the things we see from a lot of our guys, that extra effort can pay off in a lot of ways. There was even a play in a free throw in the second half in front of our bench. We have a little, you know, thing we do on the free throws, and we did it the right way, and we almost had it. I mean, it was an extra effort that they made to get there. It was just a matter of having our hands ready to catch the ball, which we'll work on or look at on film. But I like some of a lot of the extra effort things, and that's something you can't replace. In terms of we can make a lot of good things happen by playing hard and playing well together.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Greg.
All right, thanks.